Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report with yours truly, the Algo Capitalist. Today is Wednesday, April the 11th, 2018. All right, so jumping right into the charts here, we have some interesting developments happening. It looks like Bitcoin may be ready for blast off and looking for a significant retracement. We will have further confirmation probably in the overnight market into tomorrow morning, but it looks like we may start a retracement with a close above the 78.13 momentum line on the weekly chart. Now, that is quite a ways away from here, but before you get to saying, what is it in the world is he talking about? Wishful thinking. Let's take a look at the daily chart, which shows you the full picture. And as you can see here, the market has been putting in a base bottom on the daily chart. I know we've been here before, but not this close with the market trying to really gain on the momentum side. Looks like the market is quite ready to get a nice solid close above the 69.50 and the 69.05 line. If that be the case, then retracement, the first target retracement is at 75.64. That's the first profit target. And if it really gets going, then you're going to get back to the 92.12 resistance line here, which is right below the Kumo cloud. Things are starting to get rather interesting here. We shall see if whatever uptick we get is going to be sold immediately or not. If it's not, and you start to see short covering, that could be the catalyst to really start to see a retracement here in the Bitcoin futures. So this one is looking really interesting, folks. So get ready. Gold and silver caught some solid gains today and did break out. Gold went as high as 1369.40 and is in the process right now of taking that out. I look for gold to take that out on the daily chart, and we should possibly even get a close above 1370 by Friday. So technically, all it needs to do is close above 1347.30. We got a pointer here that was made for Thursday, so we know that prices are definitely heading higher. Gold is now in play. Looking at silver on the daily chart. Silver also breaking out but pulling significantly back, thus creating a nice solid pointer. Therefore, all the silver needs to do is close above $16.56 this week. And I'm looking at a possibility of getting above $17. So silver is also in play tonight, folks. Gold, silver, and Bitcoin look really interesting here, to say the least. And we did get a pulse wave price trigger on gold and silver today. Tomorrow is going to be the real test to see if we get follow through. If it does, it's going to be magnificent. All right, let's take a look now at the NASDAQ 100 on the daily chart. All right, holding that momentum line, but having a tough time with overhead resistance at 66.31 half and 66.94 and 3/4. Those are the strong resistance zones for the NASDAQ 100. And it's looking like if it can't get above that, if it can't get a close above it, it's definitely going to roll over and get below this Kumo cloud here. But if it can manage to get a lot of buying power underneath of it, it can punch through the top of the Kumo cloud and then catch rampage here on the daily chart. That will put prices back above 7,000. So you're in an interesting zone right here in the NASDAQ 100. Taking a look at the Dow futures on the daily chart, and not quite as bullish with the strong momentum behind it as the NASDAQ 100 It's right at its resistance of 24,244. And then the secondary resistance is at 24,550. So between the two zones, we have pretty strong resistance. And right now, it's barely clinging on to the momentum there. So this one is looking interesting too. If the bears catch wind up here by the trend line resistance, we could see a massive sell-off here coming. So equities are at a very, very interesting crossroads right now. Looking at natural gas on its daily chart, it's showing total flat weakness. This is like a flat line, on an EKG machine. This thing is just flat, no momentum whatsoever. It's looking like the market's been closed for 2 weeks. So nothing going on there. Looking at the crude oil on the daily chart is breaking out and it's on its way to get above that 68 zone. Crude oil is in play, definitely in play. Taking a look at bonds. All right, on the bond side right now, you can see bonds are trying to also come alive and power up within the Kumo cloud. We got to be careful. 147 is showing to be an overhead resistance zone. All bonds need to do on the daily chart is close above 146.01 this week, and it can carry over more momentum into next week. And so the markets are starting to move into interesting zones right now. Um, the thing to keep in mind is that it's still volatility season with everything that's going on, with Mr. Zuckerberg testifying on the Hill. And basically, what's really on trial here is not Mr. Zuckerberg. It's not even Facebook that's on trial here, folks. All right. What's on trial here is, your First and Second Amendments to the Constitution. All right. Freedom of speech is on the chopping block along with the right to keep and bear arms, folks. If those two things fall, all is lost. All right. If you don't have free speech and you don't have the right to keep and bear arms, then your constitutional freedoms, as you know, are gone. Everything stands on the freedom of speech and the right to keep and bear arms. If you take away a person's right to defend oneself, property, person, and land, and you take away the right for people to voice their opinions and to speak out against tyranny, what have you done? You've taken away your right to stand against tyranny, and you've taken away the voice to speak out against tyranny. So you will lose the right to speak out against tyranny, and you'll lose the ability to fight tyranny. All right? The American people cannot allow this to happen. It's all been done sly under different guises. Right now, they're saying, oh, it's data breach, data breach. And so they make people afraid. Oh, all your data is gone, whatever. It's been hacked. All right. They use that so that you come in and say, okay, yes, we must protect our personal data. And really what they're coming in through the back door and taking away your free speech within it. So they're using the rules of personal data and privacy, but what's happening is on the back of that, they're taking away your free speech as a result of that. Okay. So that is the Trojan horse. The Trojan horse is your data, your personal data. All right. That's the Trojan horse. But inside of that horse is taking away your free speech. All right. The Trojan horse for the Second Amendment, to take that away, is you've been seeing all these shootings. All right. Lone gunman, active shooter. All right. So that's the Trojan horse. Again, making people afraid, putting safety as the main issue, as the front issue. But inside the issue of safety, inside of that Trojan horse, is the right to keep and bear arms. All right, and they've been doing everything they can to think of to chip away at that constitutional right. Saying, well, it doesn't say in the Constitution that you have to have an automatic weapon. It's not about the type of weapon. In the Constitution, that amendment does not say the right to bear and keep certain arms. It says the right to bear and keep arms, period. It doesn't say the right to keep and bear arms for hunting purposes only. It says the right to keep and bear arms, period. All right, that is your right to defend your person and your land. All right, that is your constitutional right. That is your God-given right. All right, the right to defend oneself. All right, from all enemies, foreign and domestic. Okay, so American people, please don't be stupid. Do not allow yourself to be fooled by the mainstream media and the powers that be. Don't let them tell you what the narrative is. The narrative is not about safety. The narrative is not about personal data and privacy rights. The issue is not about please don't shoot. All right, that's not the issue either. It's not about gun control. They don't care about gun control. The powers that be care about total control. All right, so don't get it twisted. And with that said, pulsewavetrading.com, home of the world's greatest, most advanced artificial intelligence trading software on the planet. Learn how to harness this control, put the power of the pulse wave trading system in your hands, and learn what the central banks do not want you to know. Pulsewavetrading.com. And remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. Peace.